2025 is your year to start a new business, and the City of Pasco is here to help. We have newly updated commercial kitchen space and vendor windows available at the Pasco Specialty Kitchen downtown. Mobile food vendors, we've made it faster and easier than ever to get permits and connect with customers, thanks to new citywide regulations for food trucks and hand carts. Visit pasco-wa.gov for more information and join the thriving Pasco community. Naturally transformative.
So we're going to need everybody's help because this fire engine, fully loaded, is about 52,000 pounds. So a big effort, a big push will be greatly appreciated. So in the early 19th century, when we had horse-drawn wagons that would respond to fires, when they came back, they would unhitch the horses from the wagons and they would manually push the wagon back into the firehouse. And so it became a push-in effort to get that in. Now, as the fire apparatus became motorized, that tradition continued in order to honor those who came before us and continue the traditions that we respect within the service itself. The ceremony isn't just about a fire truck, it's about all of us, firefighters and the community, coming together to strengthen our bond and ensure our recognition of public safety.
La celebración más grande del 5 de mayo de Tri-Cities es en Pasco, el sábado 3 de mayo. No te pierdas el desfile que comienza en el Volunteer Park a las 10 de la mañana. Luego dirígete a Peanuts Park para un día lleno de entretenimiento y comida, que incluye boxeo, competencia de caballos, bailadores, camiones de comida, zona infantil, música en vivo y mucho más. Lo esperamos este sábado 3 de mayo en el centro de Pasco.
Mr. Hearing Examiner, can you hear us?
Alyssa, can you hear me?
We can, Mr. Examiner.
Okay, perfect. All right, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Whoops, did I hear feedback or what did I hear there? All right. I'm going to call this meeting to order, everyone. This is the April 9, 2025 meeting of the City of Pasco Hearing Examiner. My name is Andy Kottkamp, and I've been appointed as Hearing Examiner for the City of Pasco. Am I being heard okay in there?
Yes, Mr. Examiner.
Okay, I hear a little feedback, but I'll just keep going on.
Thank you.
I've been appointed by the City of Pasco to serve as a land use hearing examiner, and my job is to render decisions and on certain items, recommended decisions on various items that are authorized to come before me. Now, the hearing process has certain rules. I'll still try to be relaxed and informal, but we still have a procedure we're going to use. For each item on today's agenda, first of all, staff will present their report and make whatever recommendations that they wish to make. Then the applicant or the applicant's representative is given an opportunity to present their testimony and evidence. The applicant does have the burden of proof to show compliance with all the applicable rules and regulations. Then if somebody from the public came to testify, I'll give you that chance to do so. And if there is any testimony in opposition to the project, then I will give the applicant an opportunity to submit whatever rebuttal testimony they need to make. When you do testify, I'm going to have you come up to that podium there on the front right-hand side of the hearing room. I'm going to have you state your name and your address. And if you're going to give testimony, I will swear you in as a witness. I'd ask you to keep your testimony as brief as possible. Don't restate. If you've submitted written comments, you don't have to restate those. And I would remind everyone that this is a time to provide testimony. It is not a time for questions and answers. So you will not be allowed to ask questions of staff or the hearing examiner or the applicant. It's just a time to provide your testimony and evidence. I do have the option following this hearing to keep the record open if I feel there's a need for additional written testimony to be submitted. But in any event, my written decision will be made within 10 working days after I close the public record. Now, except as provided by the provided by the City of Pasco Code regarding requests for reconsideration, my decision on the special permit and the preliminary plat application, those are final and are subject to appeal by a land use petition action. On the zone change, those I make recommendations to City Council, and City Council will make the final decision on those. When the zone change applications go in front of the City Council, just so everybody knows those will be a closed record hearing, so City Council will not be taking any more additional testimony on those zone changes. They will just be considering the testimony that was presented and admitted into the record at this hearing. So that's important for you to understand. I've reviewed all the items on today's agenda. I don't have any interest in the properties or the proposals to be heard today, and I will be able to fairly and objectively consider all the items. And outside of receiving and reviewing the staff reports for each item and all the attachments to the staff report, which generally include all the application materials and the noticing documents, agency and public comments, site plans and maps, other than receiving and reviewing essentially the entire planning staff file, I've not had any communication regarding any of the items that are on today's agenda. So with those representations, if you do have an objection to me serving as the hearing examiner for any of the items, if so, you need to come forward and state so at this time. Okay, seeing no movement, we'll turn to the first item on today's agenda. This is the preliminary plat application for a major subdivision. It's given application number PP 2025-001, and this is an application for a 6-lot subdivision on approximately 0.92 acres. This relates to property located within the City of Pasco that is more specifically described in the staff report as well as in all those application materials. Now, for the record, I'm going to admit into the record that staff report, all the application materials, all the noticing documents, all the comments that have come through, maps and drawings and the SEPA determination, I'm going to admit all of those items. Indeed, I will admit the entire planning staff file into the record at this time by this reference, and I will turn this matter over to staff for their presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. My name is Ivan Barragan, Planner 2, City of Pasco. This is for project PP 2025-001. PP stands for Preliminary Plat, River's Edge 6-lot subdivision. I want to mention that the short plat I will be talking about and showing on the screen was not provided in the packet, and I will provide an updated packet to include said short plat after this meeting. And I apologize, it doesn't look like it made it on the packet, but I will include it. Sorry, it didn't make it on the PowerPoint, but I will include it as part of the packet after this meeting. So I'll continue. The proposal is located on two parcels, parcel numbers 119-670-021 and 119-670-022 in Pasco, Washington. These two parcels were created through short plat 2020-13 and will be further subdivided with this proposal. The property's designated land use is low density residential district. They are zoned R1 and are surrounded by RS12 suburban district single family homes. The proposed site is approximately 0.94 acres in size. The applicant wishes to subdivide two parcels into 6 individual lots. The State Environmental Policy Act. One moment, Mr. Examiner. Mr. Examiner?
Yes.
We have an interpreter for this item here. His name is Hugo, and he will be interpreting for Betty Duarte, one of the owners of the property. The owner just got here.
All right, if the interpreter could let the property owner know that we've started the hearing and we're going through the staff report, and we started promptly at 6.
I'll continue, Mr. Examiner.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So the applicant wishes to subdivide two parcels into 6 individual lots. The State Environmental Policy Act mitigated determination of Sorry, there was another interruption. Is it? I'll continue. Okay.
Thank you.
The State Environmental Policy Act mitigated determination of non-significance was issued on March 9, 2025. March 6, 2025. Notice of the public hearing was mailed to property owners within 300 feet of the proposed subdivision on March 17, 2025. Notice of the public hearing was published in the Tri-City Herald on March 19, 2025. Per Pasco Municipal Code, PMC 21.40.010 short plat purpose is to provide an administrative method of land subdivision allowing the creation of 9 or fewer lots. Per PMC 21.40.110, land that is divided through the short plat process into 4 or more lots may not be re-short platted for a period of 5 years. Any further land division must occur through the preliminary and final planning process. The subject properties were subdivided through the recorded 5-lot short plat on May 26th of 2020. Per Revised Code of Washington, RCW 58.17.065, each short plat must be filed with the county auditor and is not considered approved until recorded. Lots noted as 2 through 5 in the preliminary plat propose to utilize PMC 21.20.060 lots without public street frontage. These lots are proposed to be accessed via an access easement. Per PMC 21.20.060, 2D, there shall be no more than 3 adjoining lots created without public street frontage. Since Chapter 21.25.010 of the PMC allows multiple owners to divide their property under a single application, the applicants are requesting that each owner should independently benefit from the provisions of PMC 21.20.060. Staff is unclear whether this meets the intent of the provisions of PMC 21.20.060. However, staff have also found that there is an avenue for the proposal to comply with the provisions of PMC 21.20.060. That said, staff is generally supportive of the proposed 6-lot River's Edge subdivision. However, staff defers the final decision on the subdivision of parcel numbers 119-670-021 and 119-670-022 to the hearing examiner. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your presentation. Is the applicant ready to proceed? I need to have the applicant come forward so I can ask her some questions.
She's coming, Mr. Examiner.
Yep, I see that. All right, Mr. Interpreter, what is your name, sir?
My name's Hugo Cruz.
Hugo?
Correct.
All right, Mr. Cruz, I'm going to put you under oath real quick. Mr. Cruz, just Mr. Cruz. Mr. Cruz, do you swear to accurately translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English in this case?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. Now we'll go to the applicant. What is the applicant's name?
¿Cómo se llama la solicitante?
Elizabeth Duarte, a sus órdenes.
Elizabeth Duarte.
Duarte?
Yes, correct.
D-U-E-R-T. Yes.
Yeah, I'll have her raise her right hand.
Y puede levantar su mano derecha.
Ms. Duarte, do you swear to tell the truth in this proceeding?
Decir la verdad en estas diligencias.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you.
Bien, gracias.
Ms. Duarte, are you one of the property owners and the applicants today?
Señora Duarte, ¿usted es una de las propietarias en los que están solicitando el día de hoy?
Sí, sí.
Yes.
Yo.
Yes, it's me.
And are you authorized to speak on behalf of all the property owners?
¿Y usted está autorizada de hablar de parte de todos los propietarios?
Nomás somos dos, Alberto y yo. Y sí.
It's just two of us, Alberto and I.
That didn't answer my question. Is she authorized to speak on behalf of all the property owners?
Eso no contesta mi pregunta. ¿Está usted autorizada de hablar de parte de todos los propietarios?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. So, what does she want to tell me about this project? She has the burden of proof, so she can tell me what she wants to tell me.
¿Qué es lo que usted me quiere decir con respecto a este proyecto? Usted tiene la carga de la prueba, entonces me puede decir lo que usted me quiera decir.
Sí, muy buenas tardes. Nosotros queremos hacer la subdivisión.
Yes, very good afternoon. We want to do the subdivision.
Para hacer dos... I'm sorry. Nosotros estamos tratando de hacer la subdivisión para hacer casas, family homes.
We're trying to make the subdivision to build houses, family homes.
Y tratar de hacer casas bonitas, ¿verdad? Que estén acorde al barrio.
And to try to build pretty houses that are conforming to the neighborhood.
Okay, does she have any comment on city staff's representations regarding what may be a problem with compliance with the Pasco Municipal Code?
¿Tiene usted algún comentario con respecto a lo que ha dicho el personal sobre los requisitos de que quizás puedan crear un problema con el código de la ciudad de Pasco?
Pues nosotros tenemos la esperanza que todo salga a favor nuestro, ¿verdad? Y que podamos
Well, we have
realizar nuestro proyecto.
the hope that everything turns out to our favor, that we can perform this.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that. It didn't make sense to me, and there was some cutting out. Could you restate that again, Mr. Cruz?
No entendí muy bien eso. Se estaba perdiendo la conexión. ¿Puede decirlo otra vez, señora?
Que nosotros tenemos la esperanza de que todo salga a favor y nosotros podamos realizar este proyecto y poder proveer.
We have the hope that everything is conforming to the codes and that we can carry out this project.
Está
Okay.
aquí la ingeniera que nos está ayudando a hacer la subdivisión. Ella puede ayudarnos.
The engineer who's helping us build this subdivision is present. She can help us
Para contestar las preguntas.
to answer the questions.
I'm sorry. Once again, you were cutting out when you speak, Mr. Cruz. Who's going to help answer the questions?
Se está cortando la conexión. The person declaring or testifying is said that an engineer. An engineer is here present who can assist with answering the questions.
Ella tiene información.
That's fine if you want to have somebody else speak on your behalf.
And she has information already about the project. Está bien si quiere que alguien más hable en representación suya. Yeah, could you come over, please?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Good evening. Your name and address, please.
Christine Batayola, 2104 West 51st Avenue, Kennewick.
All right. We've met before, but I want to make sure I get your name spelled right.
I can spell it.
Well, yeah, why don't you do that?
All right, so Christine, Chrisstine, and then Batayola, which is B as in boy, Atayola.
All right. I'm going to have you raise your right hand for me, please. And do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give today will be the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. And again, you are the engineer and you're here to speak on behalf of the property owners, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, what would you like to tell me?
So the properties were recently rezoned to R1, and we are able to do 3 lots for each of the 2 parcels that's developing. We looked into having having 2 private roads, but the configuration that we get with the lots makes them not as desirable for building. It's more difficult dimensions just based on the overall dimensions of the lot. We have the 90-foot frontage for each one of these. So then if we take off 20 feet each, we end up with a lot depth of only 70 feet for lots that would be fronting off of the 2 private roads if we did 2 roads. A public road wouldn't fit because it basically takes up the vast majority of the lot with a public road with a 60-foot right-of-way and easements on both sides. So then we're left with very little buildable room if we did it with a public road. And then we're also trying to balance, since there are the 2 property owners, having both property owners have the same outcome with their lots. They would have equivalent lots and their contribution would be equivalent for the development. So this was the layout that worked best for meeting all the requirements. The only thing that it doesn't do is meet the requirement for the 3 lots maximum off of the private road.
How am I supposed to get around that?
That's why we're requesting the variance on this. It wouldn't impact any of the neighboring properties. If we didn't subdivide, we could build it exactly like this. It's just the subdivision that is limiting the 4 houses on the single private road. It wouldn't.
Well, go ahead.
Well, it wouldn't affect the character of the area. I mean, they're going to build single family homes, and it'll provide safe access with an emergency vehicle turnaround that the city is requiring, which is the cul-de-sac style turnaround.
I guess I didn't appreciate that there had been an application for a variance. Are you telling me that there is an application for a variance that should be in front of me as well?
We weren't told that we needed to have a formal variance application. We have been in contact with the city on this project for a while, and we knew that it needed a variance, but we were never told that we had to do a formal variance application.
Well, I think this next question is going to be pretty straightforward, but it's also very important. It is possible to develop this property so that there are only 3 residential lots accessing off a private road. That can be done on this lot, correct? On these lots?
Yes, it can be done.
Okay. All right. What else would you like to tell me?
I don't think I had anything else to add.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I just want to say thank you.
I just want to say thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll turn this over to the public now. Was there any member of the public that came to testify on this matter? If so, you just need to come forward and state your name and address. All right. I'm not seeing any movement. Is there anything further from staff?
No, Mr. Examiner.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Cruz and Ms. Duarte, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the public record portion of this hearing, and I will have a written decision made within the next 10 working days. Turn to the next item on today's agenda. This is one of the rezone applications that we have today. It's application Z2025-002. This is a request to rezone property from RS1 to R1. This relates to property located within the city of Pasco that is more specifically described in the staff report as well as in all the application materials. For the record, I'm going to admit into the record that staff report, all those application materials, there's maps and drawings. I'm going to admit all those items. Indeed, I will admit the entire planning staff file into the record at this time by this reference and turn this matter over to staff for their presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Examiner. So, the applicant, Scott Hans, on behalf of Gerald Craig Sawyers, submitted an application to rezone parcel number 119132073 from RS1 Suburban District to R1 Low Density Residential District. Before I go any further, I just wanted to make a note that there was a Scribner's error in the NOA, ODNS, and public hearing notice regarding the number of lots proposed by future short plat. Both notices refer to the number of lots being 7, whereas the actual number is 8. However, the NOA and ODNS referenced and the SEPA registry included a preliminary layout of the proposed short plat, which indeed showed the 8 lots. I just wanted to add that in. Anyhow, so the notice of application with the NOA/ODNS was sent out on March 12th, 2025. It was posted on the city's website and mailed, also submitted to the Tri-City Herald and mailed to property owners within 300 feet of the property, of the subject property. And then, let's see. So, and then, and then following that, the public notice of this hearing was mailed to property owners within 300 feet of the site and published in the Tri-City Herald on March 26, 2025. So the site was annexed into city in 2004 through Ordinance 3675. And then the site was originally signed RS12 Suburban District through the Ordinance 3676 in conjunction with the annexation. Site was then assigned the current zoning designation RS1 zoning in 2021 via Ordinance 4517. The rezone would support a proposed infill subdivision project, which would be submitted to our office based upon approval of said zone change. And then as you can see on the map, the 1925 Road 40 address there originally had a single-family home and accessory structure located on property. Those structures were demolished on around February 20th, 2025. So rezone from RS1 suburban to R1 low-density residential would allow R1 density residential development to occur along or near to local streets. The rezone application proposal are consistent with council-approved comprehensive plan. The civil building and fire codes mandate adequate fire access, fire hydrants, similar fire and life safety requirements for all new developments. Site is adjacent to existing single-family development. And the city's 2018-2038 comprehensive plan land use map designates the site as low-density residential. Per PMC 25.215.015, the low-density residential designation allows for RS20, RS12, RS1, R1, R1A, and R1A2 zones. The current zoning of the site, of RS1 requires a 10,000 square foot lot minimum size. The proposed zoning of RS1 allows for a decrease of the minimum lot size to 4,000 square feet for single-family detached. The low-density residential designation may be developed with a variety of residential housing, including single-family, zero-lot line dwellings, multiple dwellings, duplex, triplexes, and courtyard apartments. Staff recommends, based on the findings, facts, solutions therein, that 1925 Road 40, parcel number 119-132-073, in Pasco be rezoned from RS1 suburban to R1 low-density residential. Thank you. And that's it.
All right. Thank you very much. And just as you said, there is no project action with this. They can, if the city council approves the rezone, they're not committed or tied to any particular type of development. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that'd be fair to say.
All right. Thank you very much. Is the applicant ready to proceed? The applicant is present. Could you come forward?
Yes, I'm here. The engineer, anyway.
All right. And once again, your name, please.
Christine Batayola.
All right, ma'am, you are still under oath. You're here as an agent authorized to appear and speak on behalf of the applicant and property owner. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. What would you like to tell me?
This property is, they would like to develop this property with the R1 zoning, which will allow the smaller lot sizes, won't change the density of the, I'm sorry, I think that's my phone going off. Oh, okay, sorry about that. Which won't change the density, but will allow them to have smaller lots. They would like to be able to develop this property to the maximum extent feasible in accordance with the comprehensive plan. The property immediately to the north of this one was rezoned to the R1 a few years ago. So this would have the same zoning as that parcel. And most of the other property around here is, or at least a lot of it's already developed with single family residences, so it would fit in with the neighborhood. I think that's sums it up.
All right, thank you very much for coming out tonight. I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Is there any member of the public that came to testify on this application? If so, you just need to come forward, please. All right, not seeing any. Is there anybody, anything further from staff?
Nope.
All right, then what I'm going to do is I am going to close the public record portion of this hearing, and once again we'll have a written decision made within the next 10 working days. We'll turn to the third item on today's agenda. This is another rezone application. Once again, this is given application number Z2025-003. This is a request for a rezone on property located within the city of Pasco from RS12 to R1. I'm going to admit into the record at this time the staff report, the application materials, the noticing documents, all the comments that have come through. I should say all but one of the comments that have come through. There's maps and drawings and photographs. I will admit all those items into the record at this time by this reference. I did receive 3 comments today. One of them is unsigned. It starts on the first line, the rezoning of 617 Road 34, and it ends with home, family oriented neighborhood. That's unsigned. That will not be admitted into the record. The ones that I received today from, who's this? John Hudspeth. And the other one that I received today from Kenneth Zimmerman, those are admitted into the record as well. And I'll turn this matter over to staff for your presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Examiner. So the applicant, or Robert Stutman, on behalf of Stutman Development LLC, has submitted a rezone application to rezone 617 Road 34, 609 Road 34, units A, B, 605 Road 34, units A, B, and B, which consists of parcel numbers 119, 421, 047, and 119, 421, 048, near the corner of West Sylvester Road 34, to change zoning from RS12 to R1. Before I continue, there was 3 different findings of fact in the staff report that contained incorrect information. The first is the fact 4, the correct address is the 617 Road 34, 609 Road 34, and the AB, and then 605 Road 34, units AB.
What page are you? You got to point
sure.
me to where you're talking about. I'm not sure with all the pages there.
Here, I can pull up the. So it's over on page. It's page 5. So it was kind of in that listing of staff findings of fact section. It was just happened to discover it when putting together the presentation. So.
Okay, finding of fact 4. What's the correct address then?
It's the 617 Road 34, 609 Road 34, units AB, 605 Road 34, units AB. And then I think 5 there is the correct acreage information is supposed to be 0.8 acres and 34,997 square feet. And then
How many square feet?
34,997 square feet.
All right.
All right. And then on 6, the correct intersection is supposed to be Road 34 and West Sylvester Street. Sorry.
Road 34 and West Sylvester.
Yep.
Just so I'm writing this down so I don't have to worry about it later. Fact number 4, 609 Road 34, and you said there were units what? 1 and 2 or A and B?
It's AB is the units on both the 609 605.
So 605 Road 34, and what is that one you said? There's units on that one too?
Yeah. So 609 and 605 both have units A and B. So they're two. So each one represents a a duplex.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a mouthful. So.
Well, I just want to make sure I have it right when I'm putting basic information into the decision. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So anyhow, the rezone application Z 2025-003 is to rezone lots 1 and 2 of short plat 2024-26 was submitted on February 25th, 2025. Application was deemed to be complete March 6, 2025. Public notice of this hearing was mailed to property owners within 300 feet of the site and published in the Tri-City Herald newspaper on March 12, 2025. The site was annexed into the city in 1996 through Ordinance 3146. Site was assigned to RS12 Suburban District zoning, Ordinance 3147, in conjunction with the annexation. The rezone would support the ability to subdivide the 2 duplexes currently under construction on parcel 119-421-048. A rezone from RS12 to R1 would allow R1 density residential development to occur along or near a minor arterial street. The underlying land use code specifies 3 to 6 dwelling units per acre. The rezone application proposal are consistent with the council-approved comprehensive plan. The civil, building, and fire codes mandate adequate access, fire hydrants, and similar fire and life safety requirements for all new developments. The site is adjacent to existing single-family development. The city's 2018 to 2038 comprehensive plan land use map designates the site as low-density residential. Per PMC 25.215.050, low-density residential designation allows for RS12, RS20, RS12, RS1, R1, R1A, and R1A2 zones. Current zoning on the site is RS12, which requires a 12,000 square foot lot minimum. The proposed zoning for R1 allows for a minimum lot size range from 4,000 square feet for single-family detached to 5,000 square feet for duplex triplex. The low-density residential designation may be developed with a variety of residential housing and may include single-family dwellings, zero-lot line dwellings, multiple dwellings, duplexes, triplexes, and courtyard apartments. Staff recommends, based on the findings of facts and conclusions therein, that lots 1 and 2 of short plat 2024-26, parcel numbers 119-421-047 and 119-421-048, be rezoned from RS12 Suburban District to R1 Low Density Residential District. So.
All right, on that finding of fact number 4 that we talked about, changing the street names, it also says the request is from RS20 to R1. Is that, it should be RS12 to R1?
Did it do that? Yeah. That's supposed to be RS12 to R1. Sorry about that.
All right, just wanted to make sure again.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Is the applicant ready to proceed?
Yes.
Sir, I'm going to have you come on up and state your name and address for me.
Yeah, Rob Stutzman, 617 Road 34 is the address.
All right, just, I don't have the staff report up right now. How do you spell your last name again?
Stutesman.
All right, sir, I'm going to have you raise your right hand for me. And do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give today will be the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you very much. And you are the applicant and representative of the property owners today, is that correct?
The owner, yes.
All right. What would you like to tell me about this project?
I think staff covered it fairly completely. We're building the duplexes now. What I'm looking to do is, and before I purchased the property, I've worked with staff on, what I'm doing with the project, and I think it fits with the comprehensive code. And somebody mentioned, about the family neighborhood as well. I think by rezoning this, it allows me to separate these two duplexes and actually sell them to families, and not keep them as a 4-unit rental property. It just gives more credence for family owners to buy a duplex versus a fourplex. So I think that working with staff through the last year and a half, it fits with the zoning and also with the comprehensive code.
All right. So the duplexes have already been started to be built without the rezone. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that was approved by the city?
Yeah.
All right.
It fits in the current zone now. What the rezone does is allows it to be separated off to sell them individually.
Okay, I got it now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add, sir?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Turn it over to the public now. Was there any member of the public that came to testify on this matter? If so, you just need to come on up and state your name and address.
John Hudspeth, 325 Road 36, Pasco.
Okay, sir, I'll have you raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you give today will be the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I have your written comments, so try not to just repeat those. And what additionally would you like to tell me?
If I could, it would be a lot easier on me if I just read my statement, because
is this the one that you just submitted today?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's already in the record, but if it makes you feel better to read it into the record as well, it'll be in here twice.
Thank you, sir. To whom it concerns, I have been a part of the Riverview community since 1958. That time period totals 67 years. Over that span of time, I've witnessed a vast and significant number of single-dwelling homes being built to create the neighborhoods that we recognize today. I have no issue with the growth that has occurred. With that said, I need to be clear that I am fully opposed to the request by Stutzman Development to rezone a number of parcels from suburban to low-density residential. As a long-standing homeowner, it is unfair for the city of Pasco to allow and promote multiple duplexes in an area that has historically contained single-family residences. My basis for this position is straightforward. Multiple duplexes would cause harm to the neighborhood community at large in respect to everyday quality of life and home asset value. Multiple duplexes is not what we expected or bargained for when selecting, buying, moving into, and investing into our homes and properties. I am strongly asking you to reject the rezoning application by Stutzman Development. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Did anybody else like to testify on this one?
My name is Alicia Greenaway, 416 North Road 34.
Just a second, I need to get, just a second for me, please. Thank you.
No, I was not sworn in.
I know, I'm still making some notes on the last speaker. Okay, once again, now your name, please?
Alicia Greenaway, 416 North Road 34.
And how do you spell your last name?
Greenaway.
All right, thank you very much. Would you raise your right hand for me now? Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give today will be the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you very much. And what would you like to tell me?
I live right down the road from this. I do not believe anybody in the neighborhood, especially the next door neighbors, were notified of this within a 300-foot radius of this development. And there are next door neighbors in the audience. What you asked earlier, so this development started without being rezoned first?
Yeah, what I now clearly understand is that the duplexes are allowed in the current zone, and the request for the rezone is so that they can create some separate lots to be able to sell them. So the duplexes are going to be there whether there's a rezone or not.
And if you would please reject that rezone. If you look at your chapter 25.50, minimum lot area is 7,200 square feet for a single unit. They want to bring it down. Right now it's 34,970. Dividing that in half, tiny, tiny lot would be disgusting. How could that be a family resident?
You need to address me. The folks you're looking at don't make any decisions.
Well, the city did make decisions.
We're here tonight on the rezone application.
Okay, sorry. Dwelling units, I do believe right now that building stands over 25 feet tall, which in a R1 is not supposed to stand over 25 feet tall. I would have to get a tape measure, but if you ask the applicant to come back up and ask him if he would put a tape to it, that would be great.
The height of the building is not part of the rezone criteria that I'm considering. I understand what you're saying.
It is in your code.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just trying to help you.
I pulled it off the website. I pulled it all off your website. I mean, the zoning website and everything else, it's on the website. So if you don't want to follow the law of city codes and zoning, I don't have anything else to say.
Well, that you can be rude and you can be...
That's not being rude. It is being accurate, sir.
And thank you very much for coming in tonight.
Not a problem. I reject this.
Does anybody else want to offer any testimony tonight on this matter from the public?
Yeah, I will.
Sir, your name and address, please.
My name is Kenneth Zimmerman, and I own the duplexes on 704 and 706 Road 34.
All right, sir, I'll have you raise your right hand for me, please. And do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give today will be the truth?
That, absolutely, yes, I will.
All right, thank you very much. And what would you like to tell me?
I also submitted a written statement, but I'd like to reiterate some of this because it's an incident that happened that's very relevant to rezoning these properties here. That corner is one of the worst corners on Sylvester. I call it the Sylvester Speedway, as the traffic comes up over that overpass and then they come flying down there, and lo and behold, what do they got at the bottom of there now? Now they got a walkway. And I've done a number of work at my property, and I can tell you right now that's a very dangerous corner. And anything that's going to increase the population density there of that corner is a big problem. Second, I had a fire there at my duplex, and this was a few years ago. Lady was mowing the lawn, she got caught up in some arborvitae, and the firemen had to come. And they told me, they said, quote, that hey, if they didn't relocate the fire station where they did and was able to get to that fire hydrant that's on the corner of that property at catty corner for me that wants to be rezoned, they would not have been able to save my building, most likely the building next to it, and possibly another building. And that's what they told me. And so I have some real concerns about the safety of it, and I have the utmost concern about the fire issues there. And somebody's going to get hit there. It's an awful corner, and I think the last thing that should happen, it should happen to be a rezone, and I'm 100% against it.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Zimmerman. Was there anybody else from the public that came to testify in this matter? Hello, your name and address, please.
Shannon Carrillo, and it's 320 Road 34, Pasco.
How do you spell your last name?
Carrillo.
All right, just like it sounds. You raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give today will be the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And what would you like to tell me?
I've been in the neighborhood for 58 years, and it's a sore sight to see those duplexes there. We don't want it, and we'd like to keep our residential to a single dwelling with nice, lovely backyards and big yards. And I just sad to see the neighborhood get so congested. And I hope that you don't allow zoning for our duplexes. We'd like to keep our neighborhood the way how it has been. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you very much for coming in. Any other member of the public? Yes, sir.
You want to go first, man? You're fine. Good evening.
Hi, your name and address, please.
Roosevelt Signs, 3415 West Sylvester Street.
What was your first name again?
Roosevelt, Rusbel. Last name Signs, Saenz.
Ooh, I got signs all wrong. It's S, what is it again?
Saenz.
Okay, never would have guessed that one. Can I have you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give today will be the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Sir, what would you like to tell me?
So I've lived in the neighborhood going on 13 years now, and much like Mr. Zimmerman said, I actually live in the house next door to those arborvitaes that burned. And truthfully, I was at work that day. It's a sore sight to see because Miss Judy's a real wonderful lady. But just in the last year since the construction on Sylvester Street has condensed it to a single lane, we've had multiple accidents. This last winter was almost a tragic one. You know, we have cars still speeding up and down the roadway, and building these sequential duplexes, unfortunately, make more of a safety issue than a well-known neighborhood to have children in. I have a large family. I do not let them play in the front yard because of these issues. See, my family lives in the back. We enjoy the backyard, and I'd hate to see somebody lose their life there. You know, these duplexes, I'm pretty sure most of the families in this neighborhood do not have garages as high as these duplexes. It makes a real eyesore looking down the street that way. The trees are beautiful. You can look over the top. They're beautiful windbreaks. Unfortunately, I know down the road on 34 we have single level duplexes. They're fine, they're great. But now we're looking at 2 stories, a bit of an eyesore.
All right, anything else, sir?
That's it for now.
All right, thank you very much. Is there anybody else that wishes to offer any testimony?
Yes, sir.
Hi.
My name is Joanne Mathias. I live at 515 Road 34. I've lived there for... Mathias.
How do you spell your last name?
Mattias.
All right, let's get you under oath first. And do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give tonight will be the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. And now what would you like to tell me?
I've lived at our house for 47 years. And in that time, we've had some building. But my concern about these 2 duplexes is the fact that there is no parking. There is no front yard. There's a swell there. It's a mud puddle. And I'm just wondering how on earth they're going to park all these cars that the occupants are going to have for these houses. And the eyesore of it. We have kids coming home from school every day. We have school buses. Right now, it is a disaster waiting to happen with all the construction workers, construction equipment that is on site. And I wish that in the initial rezoning letter that we got that said it would be a single dwelling that would be associated with what is there. The other houses in the neighborhood, I mean, not the duplexes. But for some loophole, the city got them through to put these duplexes in that are eyesores and are going to cause a major traffic situation. Road 34 is a busy street in the summertime, especially with the Moore Mansion having all their events and everything. And we have lots of kids on the other side. So I respectfully reject this rezoning.
All right. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Anybody else wish to offer any testimony?
My name is Ray Salinas. My address is 3320 West Hopkins Street.
How do you spell your last name, Mr. Salinas?
Salinas.
All right, sir, I'm going to have you raise your right hand for me. And do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give today will be the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. And what would you like to tell me?
So I guess my whole concern is just the height of them. I mean, the duplex part of it it's just the height. I mean, I don't see how it got zoned for it to go that high. Instead of it being single, like across kitty corner from where it's currently built at. I mean, there's like 4 of them right there, single story. But now you got here 2 eyesores sticking out like, a bad habit. I mean, it doesn't make no sense. We've been coming to the city, seems like once a year lately, to fight some issue that's coming into our neighborhood that doesn't need to be there. I mean, for one, like I said, 2-story shouldn't have been there. Singles, no problem. It's just like the property behind me that we're still probably going to come back sometime this year to fight whatever you guys are trying to build behind me. So I'm opposed to it. So I'm sure you'll see me again opposing whatever else you're going to try to build behind me. But thank you.
Thank you very much. there anybody else that wish to offer any testimony on this matter? Good evening, sir. Your name and address, please?
Sure, it's Thomas King, King, K-I-N-G. And my address...
K-I-N-G?
Yes.
All right.
And my address is 200 Road 34.
I'll have you raise your right hand for me, please. And do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give tonight will be the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. What would you like to tell me?
I suppose it's really nothing much more than what has already been said. I just want to clearly indicate the point that I want to be a numerical addition to what has already been said. It is correct that the Moore Mansion's at the very end of this road, and during the summer there will be a lot of people driving through, and the increasing density of people in this area might be detrimental to that. And the concept of the duplexes is also, I understand it's probably zoned for it already, but it's not what the neighborhood likes. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. King. Is there anybody else that wishes to offer any testimony tonight? Hello, sir. Your name and address, please.
Mike Houchins, 3217 West Hopkins Street.
Sir, how do you spell your last name?
Houchins.
All right, Mr. Houchins, could you raise your right hand for me? And do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give today will be the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And sir, what would you like to tell me?
Well, I wasn't aware of it either. One of my other neighbors gave me the literature on this. Like the person before me stated, we're down here every other year trying to protect our neighborhood. And I don't think crowding in two of these ugly high-rises or whatever is improving the neighborhood. It's to me, it seems like a money grab. I don't know, but I'm opposed of it, and that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody else who wishes to offer any testimony tonight that hasn't already spoken? All right, is there anything further from staff?
Nope.
All right, is there anything further from the applicant? Not seeing any movement? I'll assume that's a no. So what I'm going to do is I will close the record on this hearing at this time. I'll make a recommended decision within the next 10 working days. After that decision is made, it's just a recommendation, and it will go to City Council for their final decision. All right, we'll turn to the last item on today's agenda. Let me get settled here real quick. All right, this is application SP 2025-002. This is a request for the operation of a beauty school within an existing building on property located within the city of Pasco that is more specifically described in the staff report as well as in the application materials. For the record, I'm going to admit into the record that staff report, the noticing documents, there are photographs, site plans, oh boy, there's a bunch of deeds in here too. The photographs of the inside of the structure, zoning maps. I'm going to admit all those items. Indeed, I will admit the entire planning staff file into the record at this time by this reference and turn this matter over to staff for your presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Examiner. So, the applicant, Salisa, gosh, I'm mispronounced, Salicia, I'm terrible at pronouncing, Petraeus wishes to operate a beauty school at 1532 West Sylvester Street. And so the size is approximately of the property is 0.28 acres. There's kind of an existing structure on the property. It used to be a chiropractor office, I think, for the last number of decades there. Notice of the public hearing was sent to property owners within 300 feet of the subject property in newspaper on March 3rd, 2025. So the existing structure on the property comprises approximately 2,200 square feet for an upper level and 1,800 square feet for the basement level. The applicant has indicated the school will be operating in the upper level area of the structure. The site has historically provided chiropractic services since the existing structure was constructed in 1973. Both front and rear of the property have off-street parking, meeting the off-street parking requirements for beauty schools, as provided in the table or the off-street parking table located in PMC 25.185.170. Applicant has indicated there'll be approximately around 5 vehicles per day visiting the site. Hours operational will be Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., with the school to be closed on Sundays. There will be approximately 9 students enrolled per semester, centered around a hybrid class structure between online and in-person instruction. Site is zoned R1, low-density residential. Per PMC 25.200.010, unclassified uses, which beauty school is. It's instructional schools are kind of listed in that. Essentially, those unclassified uses due to their nature are deemed to require special review to consider on a case-by-case basis their impacts on adjacent uses, uses within the facility, and the infrastructure which would serve them. As you know, per PMC 25.200.0201, vocational schools, business colleges, and similar facilities in those of that sort are considered unclassified uses. So, the special permit, so proposed approved conditions, the special permit shall apply to parcel number 112042058, which is the 1532 West Sylvester Street, any subsequent subdivisions thereof. Second conditions, applicant shall adhere to all federal, state, city, building, fire, and safety codes. Recommendation, staff recommends approval of a special permit for 1532 West Sylvester Street as a beauty school with conditions as in here proposed. Sorry.
All right, thank you very much. I do not have any questions of staff. Is the applicant ready to proceed?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So I'm Jeffrey.
All right. Who's going to testify?
Her. I came to translate for her.
You came to what?
Translate.
Okay, what is your name?
Jeffrey Correa.
How do you Jeffrey, Jeffry?
Yefri.
I didn't hear you.
Yefri.
Jeffrey. Staff, I can't understand him. Can you tell me what? I'm trying to get his name correctly. Staff, did you hear it better than I did?
Yefri. Correct.
And I just recommend that you slow down so it's easier for him to hear you.
Okay.
And what is your last name, sir?
Correa. Coria.
All right, Mr. Correa, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear that you will truthfully interpret to the best of your ability from English to Spanish and Spanish to English for me?
Yes, I'll do.
All right, thank you. Now, who is with you? What's her name?
She is Cecilia Patriarce.
All right, ma'am, and what's an address for you?
Hold on, you give me a second.
1804 West Sylvester Street.
It will be 1804 West Sylvester Street.
All right, could she raise her right hand?
Hold on, someone had it.
Do you swear under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give tonight will be the truth?
Todo lo que se diga aquí sea verdad. Yes.
All right, is she the applicant today, is that correct?
Es el aplicante de la aplicación.
Sí.
Yes.
I heard there's a basement of 1,800 square feet. Are you also renting the basement?
Hay una base de 1800 pies. ¿También está rentando eso?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, what would you like to tell me?
¿Qué quiere decir?
Solo que somos una academia que estamos funcionando desde el 2019. Nuestro trabajo es preparar estudiantes para que agarren una licencia profesional de cosmetología.
So we're an academy. We've been doing this for about 5 years, since 2019, and the thing is to give the students a professional license for cosmetology.
All right.
Estamos aquí para saber cuál es la decisión final para nuestra aplicación y agradecemos su tiempo que nos presta para esta cita.
So we are here to know the final decision about our academy. We appreciate your time.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
No, gracias.
No, thank you.
All right, thank you very much for coming in.
Gracias.
It doesn't look like to me that there's any member of the public here. Is that correct, staff?
That is correct.
All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the record and I will have a decision made within 10 working days.
Okay, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in. That was the last item on today's agenda. So what I'm going to do now is I am now going to adjourn this April 9, 2025 meeting of the City of Pasco Hearing Examiner. Anything further from staff we need to do before we sign off?
Not this evening, Mr. Examiner. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. This meeting's adjourned. Everybody have a nice night.
Scope of that, because you might have a big project, but we might be just looking at